Welcome to our podcast, where we cover unique and interesting stories for you. In this episode, we will discuss virovore, an organism that eats viruses. Researchers have found what may be the first ever virovore, or an organism which eats viruses. The study was published in the PNAS journal by scientists at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln in the United States, which found two plankton organisms named Halteria and Paramecium can not only feed on viruses, but also thrive by consuming them. According to Science Direct, there are several other organisms which incidentally consume viruses, to be accounted for in the food chain and be described as virovore. The consumption should contribute a significant amount of energy and nutrients to its consumer, which a species of Halteria does. The research, which has been 3 years in the making, was looking to find if any microbes actively ate viruses and whether such a diet could support the physiological and population growth of a community, which in this case it did. The microbe in question, Halteria, is a microscopic ciliate that lives in fresh water. They are made up of really good stuff: nucleic acids, a lot of nitrogen and phosphorus, said John DeLong, an ecologist from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, who with his team made the discovery. He added, "Everything should want to eat them. So many will eat anything they can get a hold of. Surely something would have learned how to eat these really good raw materials." As mentioned earlier, since viruses are omnipresent, they are incidentally eaten all the time. However, for this study, the researchers chose chlorovirus, which is widespread in freshwater with algae. Additionally, the research also notes the different patterns of consumption between Halteria and Paramecium, as the former used chlorovirus as a source of nutrients, and while the latter did consume viruses, it did not grow much in population. Additionally, the consumption of chloroviruses could have a profound impact on the carbon cycle. If you multiply a crude estimate of how many viruses there are, how many ciliates there are, and how much water there is, it comes out to this massive amount of energy movement up the food chain, said DeLong, reported Science Direct. He added, "If this is happening at the scale that we think it could be, it should completely change our view on global carbon cycling." Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. Stay connected for more exciting discussions and updates in our next podcast.